morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire. Welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the Macds, the moving averages, the daily support and resistance levels after yesterday's pullback. It is Wednesday the 16th of September. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar. Yesterday's late pullback continued through the early part of this morning. Going to need to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 10,795 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 10,946. Going to need to see broad-based crypto recovery, however, for Bitcoin to break back through to 10,900 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect yesterday's high at 10,944 and that first major resistance level at 10,946 and resistance at 11,000 to pin Bitcoin back. In the event of breakout, second major resistance level at 11,094 could come into play. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 10,647 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub 10,500. Second major support level sits at 10,496. Looking at the Macd, we saw yesterday's bearish crossover and a widening of the bearish histogram supporting this early reversal this morning. Looking at the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 top out, suggestive of a bearish day ahead. So key through the early part of the day, avoid sub 10,700, move back through the pivot at 10,795, and a breakthrough to 10,900 would support Bitcoin and the broader market. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, also bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see EOS move back through the morning high and the pivot level at 2.7281 to then bring that first major resistance level, say at 2.7641 into play. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rebound from this early morning pullback to support a break back through to 2.70 levels, however. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level sitting at 2.7641 to pin EOS back. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 2.6685 into play. Barring an extended crypto sell-off, EOS should avoid sub 2.6 levels. Second major support level sitting at 2.6325 should limit the downside. Looking at the Macd after yesterday's bearish crossover, seeing a widening of the bearish histogram supportive of this early pullback. Looking at the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 pull back from the 100 and the 200, also suggestive of a bearish day ahead. So key through the early morning be to avoid that first major support level and break back through to 2.7s to then bring the pivot level and that first major resistance level into play. Failure to break back through to 2.7s could bring sub 2.6s if an extended sell-off continues through the day. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, tracking the broader market in the red early this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum break through the 38.2% fib at 367 and the pivot level at 370 to bring that first major support resistance level at 377 into play. Going to need to see broad-based crypto rebound for Ethereum to break out from that 38.2% fib through to 370 levels, however. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 357 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 350s. Second major support level sits at 350. Looking at the Macds, we saw a failure to form a bullish crossover and a widening of the bearish histograms early this morning, supporting this pullback. Looking at the EMAs, we're seeing a possible bearish crossover, the 50 through the 100 and the 200, which would suggest a marked sell on the day. So key through the early part of the day, break back through 38.2% fib at 367 and the pivot level at 370 to then target that first major resistance level and 380s. Failure to do that could see an extended sell-off on the day that would bring sub 350s into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, particularly bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the morning high and break through the pivot level at 0.245 to bring that first major resistance level sitting at 0.2475 into play. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rebound for Ripple's XRP to break back through that pivot level, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, put that first major resistance level to pin Ripple's XRP back from 0.25 levels. In the event of a rebound, second major resistance level at 0.2515 will cap any upside. Fall back through that first major support level at 0.2409 would bring sub 0.24s and the second major support level sitting at 0.2384 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, however, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.2350 levels. Looking at the Macds, we've seen a failure of some bullish crossovers and a widening of the bearish histogram this morning, supportive of this early pullback. And we're seeing the 50 MA pull away from the 200 and begin to move towards the 100, suggestive of a bearish crossover. So, going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through that first major support level, through the pivot level at 0.2450 to support a move back through to that first major resistance level at 0.2475. It's looking bearish, however, and the Macds and the moving averages are suggestive of a pullback through that second major support level at 0.2384.